Hey everyone, Tim the Collect Jurassic. We have a literal Super Colossal Dominion toy unboxing today. Literal in the sense that we're looking at the Super Colossal Giganotosaurus and Super Colossal Tyrannosaurus Rex. Both massive, massive figures. Can barely fit them in frame here and get my hands around the box. Big, heavy, giant toys of Giganotosaurus and T-Rex. And I'm really, really excited about these because T-Rex, of course, this isn't a new figure. This is actually a figure that we got in 2018, but the new paint application looks incredible. It's a little bit darker, a little more film accurate, a little more ominous. I love the way sort of the brighter colors pop against that dark coloration it has overall. It just looks really, really cool. Very crisp. Definitely going to be replacing my former Super Colossal T-Rex that I had out on display. So we'll be getting this one out. And of course, Giganotosaurus is another one. This guy is the main bad guy from Jurassic World Dominion. The new, super predator. It also looks just amazing in the box as it is. So we'll go ahead and get it out, assemble it, all that fun stuff. And of course, we'll be doing some comparisons too. We can compare to the other Super Colossal figures like Indominus Rex, the old T-Rex, just to get a feel of how these new ones stack up against those. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at the boxes here first. The boxes are basically identical. For Giganotosaurus, you have the big T-Rex, the name. They got this really cool amber texture throughout everything that looks really cool. And I think on the sides of the box for both of them, we have that big T-Rex logo. The iconic now Dominion logo. And then on the other side of the boxes, we have Pyroraptor, big Pyroraptor texture. And I like on the back of both of these two, they show how the T-Rex and the Giganotosaurus can actually eat mini dinosaurs. The Mattel mini line, which I reviewed on the channel, definitely check those out. I love these minis, but they have the big figures eating them, and they can come out of their belly too, which we'll go ahead and illustrate once we assemble it. But yeah, kind of fun. I mean, these things can also eat full-size figures. Why not? But they always advertise them with the minis. So same thing with the T-Rex. Shows some minis back there in scale with this Super Colossal version of the toy. We'll go ahead and start with T-Rex here. I know these Super Colossal figures take a little bit of assembly, and they're also a little bit of a pain to get out of the box. So bear with me. I'll try to do this as quickly as I can and as illustrative as I can, so you can kind of see what the full package is. You can already see inside this box some of the things we have to dig out of here. We have strings to cut. We got all kinds of stuff to make these dinosaurs free from their packaging, but hopefully just a couple things to cut, and then we can get to business. I can't get this one string. Come on. Like I said, they make these things a little bit arduous to take out. No one's stealing these puppies in the store. I can tell you that much. But they package them too so that they fit and display in the box. You can see the window. You get a nice view of the toy without really getting a sense of just how colossal it is once you attach the tail and the other leg, both of which come separately for assembly, that make the figure truly as big as it is. I think there's probably another string in here I'm missing because this thing still isn't wanting to pop out. So we'll go ahead and do is rip open the front of this box so we can really get a sense of, yeah, there's one more big piece to cut open back here on the hips. So we'll go ahead and cut that off. There, Rexy's free at last. Okay, so we'll pull her out of the back here. As soon as so we'll go ahead and toss that box to the side. Oh, and here she is, half assembled. Let's go ahead and assemble her fully. She's got a leg in a bag that just clicks on, and a tail in the bag that just clicks on. So not too tough to put together. Even for kids could put this together without too much adult assembly required. I think the tail literally just snaps on the back here. If I can just get it started. I say it doesn't take it all assembly, and I'm over here struggling with it. But I'm also trying to do it so you guys can see it in the camera, which is always a little bit tougher to do than just sticking it on. Okay, let's go ahead and put the leg on. That I can do easily enough in the camera. Surely. Yep, just snaps in there. There we go. And the tail, of course, is proving to be a little harder, mostly because I can't remember which orientation it goes in. I want to say it goes, definitely twists back and forth. So, and then there's a little notch there too. We'll try this way. No. We'll try this way. There we go. I think that's, yeah, okay. So now the tail's locked on. See if we can get her fully in frame to appreciate her. She's huge, oh my gosh. So, yeah, can we see all that? There's the Super Colossal T-Rex, barely fitting on my table with its massive body and tail. But, oh man, I mean, look at the detail on this thing. It looks awesome with this darker paint color. It's the same mold as the other one, but just the darker color, I think, makes this one feel way, way more screen accurate. The dark color goes all the way down, almost to the tail. And then the figure itself has this sort of marbling on it that adds a little more texture throughout as well. It still has its battle scars on the I think there's one on the jaw, right? Yeah, back over here. Sorry, I gotta take this thing completely off the table to look. You can see the scars on the jaw, on the neck. Really fantastic, crisp eye detail. This is really one of the cooler Mattel Rex figures they ever did because it just looks, it's the spitting image, right? And articulation-wise, it has the articulated arms. It has the articulated legs that lets you go up and down. And it has 2 points of articulation on the head. One being the bottom jaw, which is pretty standard for T-Rex figures from Mattel, but also the top jaw, which lets you do a little bit more dynamic of a roar. And then it also has a tongue and then a throat that you can literally put stuff all the way down inside. And then down here, there's a little trap door that pops open and you can get the toys out. So I can demonstrate for us really quick. Let me go ahead and grab we'll grab a compy. So here's a little compy. He literally just eats it and it comes out the back. So it's like a little slide for dinosaurs. Pretty cool, right? You do that with human figures. I mean, they have minis doing it on the box, but anything you can basically fit, you can put down there in the bottom of the figure. And again, I said this one was technically a repaint, right? This is the new Dominion version, but we also have the Fallen Kingdom version. You can just see how crazy different the colors are on both of these. The original Fallen Kingdom one is a much lighter brown. That was what they painted all the Dominion Rexes to be that color. And it was cool for the time, but over time they've definitely evolved the paint coloration for the Mattel T-Rex. And they've got it now to this just really cool darker color. Oh man, I'm going to knock some toys off the shelf if I'm not careful with this thing's giant tail. But it's just got a really nice darker, more film accurate tone now. Same exact figure otherwise. Still massive. Still has all the same articulation and all that. But that darker color just really makes a difference. Go ahead. It's hard to keep these things all on the table at once, so forgive me. I'm only going to keep the comparisons up for a little bit. The tails also moves around too, which I like because you can pose it when you stick it on the shelf. You're not kind of stuck by how long the figure is. You can kind of bend the tail and push them further back, which I've always appreciated. So that is the Super Colossal T-Rex. Let's go ahead and get its challenger out. Of course, I'm talking about the Giganotosaurus behind it. Do we think we can open this Giga up without taking the Rex off? That's the question. And I think I can. I think I can. So we're going to go ahead and slide Rexy back there so she's still in frame. And move on to getting out the Giga. So same thing as before, hopefully. Just have to cut a couple things in the box. Open up the end. Take the other things out. Man, they don't make these easy to get to. That's the thing. You almost have to rip open the box to get to all the different ties they have. This one just rips off. Same as the Rex. Oh no, there's some different pieces back here. Different way that it ties in, it looks like. Of course. There's a different way the tail ties into the box. No problem. Just cut that off. Cut these off. I think I got maybe one more to do. Yeah. Got one more. Always got to mutilate these boxes to get these Super Colossals out. And it's going to work the same way where the legs click on. Looks like maybe in this case both legs come in the box, not put on the figure, instead of T-Rex where it technically had one leg. The Super Colossal has no legs. Big old tail. Another leg. They're all wrapped in cardboard too. And then Giga itself. I don't know, is Giga a boy or a girl in the movie? Have they really said it? I don't know to call it a boy or a girl, but we're gonna go ahead and put it down on its side and start assembling the toy itself. Even these things are packaged like crazy. They're packaged to protect, which I do appreciate that, but man, it takes a little more assembly than the Rex. So there's the cardboard off. I don't even know why they protect these, because you know, they don't even have as much paint on them as the T-Rex. The T-Rex had paint on its toe claws, but Super Colossal here does not have any painted detail on its legs at all. So not sure why the copious amounts of protection, but that leg clicks on. Go ahead and get the other one off. Hopefully we won't struggle getting the tail on this guy as much, because it's a little bit clear where the tail goes on Giga because of that big spine that it has. Another leg that has way too much protection considering it's just unpainted claws. Go ahead and snap it in as well. Is it gonna snap in for me? I'm gonna get these strings out the back too that I cut off. Don't want to seal those inside on accident. Just more packaging. Can't get this other leg to snap on. Yeah, there we go. Give it a nice little punch and it's on. And then the tail is gonna, it snaps in totally different than the T-Rex tail. It literally just has one big clip, if you can see, that just pushes back in. And it goes in. And there is the Super Colossal Giganotosaurus. This thing is just as big as the T-Rex. Actually, it looks a little bit tiny bit smaller, but it's got all the same features with the, you know, the articulation for the legs, the tail that moves back and forth, the arms that move. It also has a little added wrist articulation, which is fun. And then we also have the jaw that opens up, it opens down. Lots of nice paint detail on the face with the eye and all the black coloration. What I love about this one is the teeth aren't painted like the T-Rex. They're actually pieces of plastic in there, so you're not going to have paint rub. You can be as rough on them as you want, and they're going to stay in place. So I kind of appreciate those little things because they keep the teeth looking nice no matter how hard you play with it. Go ahead and twist them around here. And just makes the figure look, keeps the teeth looking nice no matter how hard you are on the figure. But my compliments for the paint kind of end there. I mean, they have nice paint through the rest of the body. However, I'm really missing the paint on the tail. You can see the tail doesn't have any paint on it besides like a little dark mark right here. And I really think they should have brought that paint all the way down. I know the other toys we got from Mattel, the minis and the new Strike Giga that's coming out, have paint that goes a little bit further down the tail. Also missing paint on the toe claws too. Oops, I just knocked somebody down back there. It was Muldoon. Sorry, Muldoon. But yeah, you can see next to the T-Rex, the T-Rex has painted nails, but the Giga doesn't. But that's, you know, it's just one of those things where the toys got a little cheaper as time went on. But overall, it's still a very impressive figure, especially next to the T-Rex. I mean, you can just see how huge these things are. To fit into any collection room is quite tough. And the Giga, you know, is just the latest Super Colossal and a long line of Super Colossals. We have Toro, we have Blue. I'm going to go ahead and get Indominus on here because Indominus is one of my favorites. And obviously the Indominus is bred from the Giga. You know, they used the DNA from Giga to make it. So now we have all three, T-Rex, Giga, and Super Colossal Indominus, all three Super Colossal figures to cover all the main large predators in the Jurassic World franchise, not counting Indoraptor. But we'll go ahead and grab T-Rex out real quick. But you can see just how similar Indominus and Giga are. I mean, they have a lot of similarities with the way their heads are shaped and maybe a little bit of the spines too. But they are two clearly different designs. I mean, Giga just looks a little bit different. Its ridges on the back is much more pronounced up here, whereas the Indominus just has some spikes. So they're similar enough to show that they were, you know, share some DNA, but Super Colossal still feels like its own original design. Looks really cool though. They all look really cool together. Let me go ahead and get the Rex back up here. Having all the Predators together, I'm definitely gonna have to find a way to put those all up in my display because I think they look really cool all set up together. Man, I can't get these in frame. They're just too big. They're just too Super Colossal. I gotta say though, you know, if I had to pit the Giga and the T-Rex one-on-one against each other, T-Rex looks like it's gonna win. It's a little bit bigger, just a little bit bigger. I'm trying to get the scale right so you can see. I mean, it's close, but the T-Rex just feels a little bit bigger. Of course, it's got a little bit nicer paint too. But at least they both have that cool swallowing feature. Giga has that as well. I think it has, yeah, it has the door and its belly right down here. So it also swallows figures. So at least both have that going for them. But, Giga has neck articulation too. See, I don't think the T-Rex just has a glued head, whereas the Giga has a little bit of articulation on the neck, which I think is cool because it gives you a little bit more posability. The Indominus had that too, so you can actually do some really cool poses. Ooh, I love that. That's cool. I didn't realize that. So another win for Giga, being able to do a little bit more articulation. But that missing paint on the nails is a little bit of a bummer. If it had that and a little bit more paint on the tail, this would be a really, really cool version of Giganotosaurus. But as it is, it's still pretty awesome, especially if you want just a massive figure. And if you're going to get both of them, even better, because obviously they're probably going to fight in the movie. So why not get toys of both of them? And these things are just so big. I can't even tell you how hard it is to fit them on my review table. You can see they're easily the length of my display shelf. They're going to be tough to fit on there. But yeah, that's Super Colossal range from Mattel Jurassic World. There's one more coming, Atrociraptor. I'll of course cover it when I get one for the channel, but wanted to pit these two against each other for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.